the practical one, he's the philosophical one, so I'm just going to start and say thank you, Ravane, for that very, very beautiful tribute. It's very moving, as has been this entire morning. It's wonderful and a bit humbling to receive the Susie Marks and Wally Marks Jr. Trailblazer Award, especially in this town. Susie and her late husband, Wally, are legendary community activists at the forefront of so many pioneer social change efforts. NewGround is blessed to be included in their efforts. Al and I want to thank you and the NewGround community for this recognition. Today's event has given Alan and me the opportunity to share NewGround with so many of our family and friends who responded to our special invitation. And especially Cousin Frida Kaplan, who opened her heart and her prodigious Rolodex. We truly thank all of you for your generosity and your presence. NewGround is a young organization, but it's mighty. NewGround is small by general measures of budget, staff, and constituents, but it is huge in its vision, its impact, and its methods. It's local, focused on making pluralism a reality, not just an aspiration or a national concept. NewGround believes in hope, but knows it has to be nurtured and activated. NewGround's inspired leaders and thinkers have crafted a powerful way to see diverse people around the table, to study, to share, and to do community service together, to become friends. It's not a little thing to build this trust and respect, but they have found a way. How do I know about this? Because of the person I most want to thank today, Alan. He's really been the trailblazer with NewGround. Yes, we are both honored and feel privileged that we could direct much needed seed support from the Philip and Muriel Berman Foundation to NewGround. But Alan is the person who, when he discovered NewGround, understood its profound possibility. He became a passionate advocate and even advisor. He has made his family proud that we are a part of NewGround. So thank you, Alan, and let's hear from your heart and mind.
Not bad, 42 years and going.
See how this is going to work. Tell me if you don't get this right. Here, our executive director, Aziza Hazan, has repeatedly asked me, why NewGround? Why the energy, the time, passion, money? At first, as I thought about a request, I said, oh, this should be easy to satisfy, knock off some ideas. The deeper I got into it, the more it seemed difficult, too difficult. Why, I asked myself. Why? And then I sort of gave up on the conventional whys, and I sort of triangulate the problem, try to do something non-conventional. What follows is something quite non-conventional. We start with a story. One of Nancy and our best friends, made up name of Sarah, has been the life partner with a man we call Saul. For over 10 years, Saul confided with me that the relationship was 10 years, and over the 10 years, Saul confided me that this past week, as he has often done, that the ritual experiences associated with the Jewish holidays that he and Sarah had enjoyed with us over many, many years. They had a profound effect on him. Paul was born a Christian, and early on in his life took his religion deeply seriously. But like being what it is, he was a Vietnam War veteran, marked him pretty well. A variety of critical life events led him to an emptying secularism. By the time we had met and later gotten to know him better, it was clear that he was a seeker, badly wanting to delve ever deeper into something meaningful, into the Jewish experience as he felt it in our household. The Jewish religion, Sarah, actively Jewish for many decades, wasn't up to the journey that Saul had laid out for them together. As I had seen it, Saul was left with the deepest need of spiritual comfort. Last week, after a chance meeting on the street, Saul stopped me and thanked me once again for what I had done for him. He paused, and then in the twinkle of his eye, he blurted out, and I was really asking for this, but I didn't get what I thought I was going to get. I was instrumental in bringing him back to Christ. We both laughed, a little nervously. Later on that day, I experienced a big revelation. There was a rush of recognition. This was the classic case of unintended consequences of what we do. During the past year while recovering from major surgery, I spent hours watching the life of our backyard garden with its birds, butterflies, and bees. Bees especially. Their endless rounds, flying here and there, or up and down and around. I was asking myself, what are they really doing, these bees? Well, obviously they were searching for food and material to continue to build and repair their hives, their homes, their structures. In it, they were gathering matter from one plant and going to another plant. And accidentally, unintentionally, they were depositing this material there. Nature, in her genius, created programs for bees while working to feed their own kind and build structures for them, were volunteering on a worldwide basis to keep the wide variety of flowers and orchards thriving. Technical word for what the bees were doing, they were doing more than this, but it was called cross-fertilization. About 6 years ago, I began to work with Louvain Firestone, recent speaker here, and tried to put some Jewish and Muslim financing together. So a Jewish and Muslim youth could side by side study their sacred texts. It was the idea of, my wife's telling me I should talk about.
Talking to the microphone.
Talking to the microphone. Well, I need to be corrected. See, that's why you live so long. We were trying to put some money together. He had in hand, he thought, was a Muslim financial industrialist, a businessman, who had money, was going to get it out of Libya, and was going to put a down payment, and I was going to match it, so we could start this program to have youth who were serious about their religion sit side by side and study the profound truths of their faith. Well, it didn't work. The Libya had other programs, and he lost all of the money that he had left behind. And I didn't have any money asked for at that time. A few years later, Louvain introduced me to Brie Lacosta, and we seemed to have a different perspective of what happened in life, and I understand because my short-term memory is blasted. And she was then and now continually in charge with USC's Religious and Interfaith Outreach Program. Immediately I was struck by her brilliance and her chutzpah. Already with 3 children, she was then wrestling with her conscience whether or not to have another. Here's a full-time job, 3 kids, thinking of having another. Husband and patent attorney. I don't know how people do it. She seemed to have restless energy, boundless optimism, and a bulging Rolodex wheel. Louvain himself, no slouch, is considered a ranking, if not the ranking, rabbinical scholar in the field of Islamic culture and religion. Shortly thereafter, Brie Louvain brought along Sarah Baskin, a recent and highly touted HUC rabbinical graduate, who was seriously thinking about postponing working at a synagogue. Another meeting, I thought to myself, they were asking for another meeting. I said, that damn drive down to USC. I'm tired of these meetings. I remember the day we all met. Southern California in its full glory, Peerless blue skies, the strong sunlight, the air freshened by a sweet wind blowing all around us, refreshing ourselves without either the wish or the will on our part. A perfect day for putting something together, I thought. I guess I was already loosening up before I was being asked. The money I pledged to Roubaix to match a grant from the Muslim Libyan industrialists a couple of years before was never materialized and never called upon. Here I was, surrounded on a beautiful day by three extraordinary human beings, dreaming dreams of a better world where two faiths, which had been at odds, to say the least, politely, for centuries, just might stand together, stand a chance for something modest and kind, a modest sort of reconciliation. Again, talking to myself what else to do, but nature herself, and for doing on her best behavior, pleading with us to go forward. The day was perfect. I could and did put the unclaimed grant on the table to start their program, getting going again. With only a few short minutes left to make sense of these